Okay, good morning. Real quick short video to review a little bit about what we started to talk about yesterday, the simplistic reason behind for-profits. We kind of already talked about this. The answer is in the name, but let's quickly review here. All right, number one, we all know the main purpose of for-profits is to generate money. Okay, and in order to do that, they have to get a lot of revenue. Okay, the simple version of revenue is just money coming in to a business. Again, the more advanced version is the income a business receives from selling goods, tangible products, things you can touch, or selling services, not tangible things, usually things that are customized, like lawn service, movers, a haircut, things like that. So for example, Best Buy, two examples here of how they might get revenue: by selling electronics in the top picture, or by selling appliances in the bottom picture. And these are just two of many different ways that Best Buy generates revenue, the money coming in to a business. But we also learned yesterday that in order for Best Buy to get this revenue, they have to incur some expenses. Expenses, again, the money is going out of a business. More advanced definition, the day-to-day costs of operating the business. So for example, Best Buy, obviously you see Best Buy advertisements everywhere, on TV, on the internet, in magazines, on billboards. They have workers. Here's a picture down below of Geek Squad. Geek Squad doesn't work for free. Okay, Best Buy pays them money in hopes that the money they would pay their workers will pale in comparison to the amount of money these workers are going to make for the company. So again, you need these expenses in order to get this revenue. Okay, ultimately though, what you hope is that after you subtract revenue and expenses, you hope that what's going to result is net income. Okay, and you can kind of see from this picture that our revenue is higher than our expenses. Okay, it's not balanced. We don't want revenue to be balanced with expenses, like the accounting equation has to be balanced, because if it is, that means you're breaking even. This isn't a nonprofit. We don't want to break even. Okay, we want to always have excess money. And if we can do that, then what's going to happen is we'll take our profit, again, also known as the bottom line, and we'll start to make some decisions. And this is just a snippet of all the different options businesses have to use their revenue. Okay, they could pay down liabilities, pay off their debt, give the money to their creditors. They could purchase better assets. Okay, maybe Best Buy decides, you know what, our shipping facility is not that good. We need to update our freight of trucks. Whatever the case might be. Maybe they decide, you know what, we got to advertise more. Okay, that's an expense. Maybe we need to research more, figure out what is it our customers really want so that we can design better products for their needs. That's an expense. Maybe we're going to purchase better internal controls. We realize that our assets are getting stolen, they're getting damaged, and we're constantly having to spend more money to replace it. So maybe we need to spend money to purchase better internal controls. Or maybe we'll decide, you know what, let's keep the money for ourselves. Okay, so you see a lot of vocab words just here on the screen. You see net income, you see profit, revenue, expenses, liabilities, assets, internal controls, so owner's equity. All of these things are connected. Okay, but for-profit businesses, we need to operate to make money. In order to do that, we have to pay some expenses, but we hope the money we spend on our expenses will help us generate more revenue. And then we take that revenue, also known as profit or the bottom line, and we have a whole bunch of options, and these are just some here. Okay? Now, before I set you loose and you start your activity, we need to talk about something called a nickname. Okay? We all know what a nickname is. I'm confident everybody here in class has a nickname. If you don't, let me know and I'll give you one. We've got Michael Jordan, Air Jordan. We have Nicole, known as Snooki. We have Sean Puffy Combs, known as P. Diddy, right? Businesses, specifically public corporations, also have nicknames, and it's called a ticker symbol. A ticker symbol is a nickname or set of usually 1 to 4 letters that identify a company whose shares are publicly traded on a stock exchange, like the NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange. Here are some examples. AT&T's nickname is known as T, Verizon VZ, Target TGT, and Walmart WMT. Okay, again, it's a set of usually 1 to 4 letters that helps people like you or I identify a company that sells shares that anybody in the world can purchase on a stock exchange. Okay, let's give you an example of this. Here's a picture of outside New York Times Square. you see a electronic LCD board here with all the ticker symbols scrolling across the bottom here. These are all a set of 1 to 4 letters that identify a public company. Let me rewind here. Most of these aren't common. I'm going to pause it right here. If you look in the upper left-hand corner, SBUX, that's probably the only one you've heard of. That's Starbucks. Okay, that's Starbucks' nickname. So if I was walking down the street and I saw this, this would tell me that in order for me to purchase 1 share of ownership in Starbucks, I would need $50.66. Okay, that's what this means. That's what a ticker symbol is. It identifies for you what that company's nickname is that they use to sell its shares of stock on a public stock exchange. Okay, now here's your assignment. What you need to do is you're going to search for the ticker symbols or nicknames of the following 5 companies. You're going to research how much revenue they made, and you're not going to look at expenses. It's a little complicated, so we're going to skip that for now. And then you're going to type in here what that company's net income is. Okay, because we know that revenue minus expenses results in net income. All right, when you're done with this page, you're going to go down to page 2, and you're just going to answer some simple reflective questions. Okay, now I'm going to do the first one for you. The company is Abercrombie & Fitch. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to yahoo.com, and when you get there, you're going to go to the finance link. And the very first box here in the upper left says get quote. And then you see here it says enter symbol. All they're asking for there is what that company's ticker symbol is. Well, we don't know it, right? So let's search for it. Let's start typing in Abercrombie, and the computer's going to start to guess what it is we want. There it is. And I'm going to type in the whole name. Abercrombie & Fitch, ticker symbol ANF. So I'm going to go to my spreadsheet here, and I'm going to type in ANF. Now I got to look for Abercrombie's total revenue. Let's take a look here on their page. Well, we know that revenue is also known as income, so perhaps the revenue is found down here on the income statement. Let's take a look. Sure enough, there it is. This is Abercrombie & Fitch's income statement. This is going to tell us the total amount of money that came into the business for Abercrombie selling goods last year. And make sure you're pulling your data from the most recent years, so in this case it would be 2012. And Abercrombie's total revenue is listed right here. 4158058. Now, do not make the mistake. Most of you guys would interpret this as they made $4,158,058. Okay, it's a little tricky. Businesses, since numbers are so large, they try to abbreviate their financial figures. So if you notice here in the upper right-hand corner, it says all numbers shown are in thousands. Here's what this means. This first set of numbers is in thousands, so that would read 58,000. The second set then becomes millions. That would be 158,058,000. And the third set becomes billion. So Abercrombie actually made last year $4,158,058,000. Not too shabby. Okay, if you want to copy and paste this, I don't have a problem with that. Total revenue. Now again, that's 4 billion, not 4 million. Now we need to figure out what their net income is, or their profit, or also known as their bottom line. So we're going to look here, down at the bottom. This shows us their net income. Okay, that's not 127,000. That would be 127,658,000. We're just going to copy and paste that here. Oh, try it again. All right, I'm just going to manually enter it in here. 127,000. I think it was 458 million. Okay, so I want you to repeat that process for the next 4 companies. Then when you're done, answer these reflective questions. Okay, if you have questions, just raise your hand and let me know. Good luck.